So Pokemon Day was quite a day, to say the least. It obviously happened on February 27th of 2025, and we got a bunch of brand new Pokemon news. Now, today, I'm not really focused on the Pokemon news, but something that was more or less announced on Pokemon Day. And it's not only just something that was kind of announced, but it was announced by a guy who is pretty much a digital artist, or was a 3D artist, who actually worked on a couple of really awesome 3D projects that you might even be seeing one in the background right now. And he actually started working on his own 3D Pokemon fan game. Now, I had talked about this guy before. His name is Millennium Oops. That is his @ on Twitter, but he also pretty much just goes by Millennium. He does have a YouTube channel. I will leave that linked in the description below, so you guys can check out some of his previous content that he's done in the past. But today we're actually looking at a brand new video that he uploaded on Twitter that you guys can now see on screen. That is pretty much a test kind of UI and gameplay of this brand new Pokemon fan game that he's actually created. Now, he was originally the guy who I did make a video about making a 3D MMO game, but apparently that game has fallen through. It fell through pretty early in development, so he decided to not make that game, which is kind of unfortunate. But that game I pretty much had covered years ago at this point, right? And so now we have this. That's just a small project that he's been working on for a few months that he hasn't really elaborated to, and it's kind of just a side thing that he's been doing. And it looks really interesting. I think it takes a lot of aspects from Pokemon Legends Arceus, and it also just has a lot of different things going on within it that I definitely think are, like, kind of cool. Like, the fact you could take out the Pokedex, you could use it to actually, like, see the Pokemon and kind of, like, what they are. You could throw the Pokeballs just like you can in Legends Arceus. A lot of the movement and a few other animations that I've seen are kind of like Legends Arceus. The UI is very Legends Arceus-esque as well. But yeah, I thought it was just a really interesting and cool fan game, and it's definitely going to shape up to hopefully be a really exciting project. Also, the fact that, you control the Pokemon and everything. I still don't know how I feel about this. We're still waiting to see what Legends EA's combat system is really going to be like when that game officially comes out. And I think, honestly, I may like that combat a little bit better than this whole running around controlling the Pokemon style combat. But this is still cool. It gives me back to old Pokemon Generations type style. Or if you guys have ever played Pokemon MMO 3D, that is also another kind of fan game / MMO game that does the whole you controlling the Pokemon type deal. And I think it's cool. I do think it's cool. I definitely see a lot of potential in this game. I'm just hoping he sticks to it this time and doesn't drop it. But this seems to have a lot more development behind it than the original MMO that he was originally going to be working on. So, hey, we have some, more stuff to look forward to, and hopefully I get to cover more content about this game in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it from me. Hopefully you all kind of, enjoyed this video. Hope this video kind of had to offer and kind of bring to the table, because I wanted to talk about this game just a little bit. I didn't want to go too much in depth, because there's not really that much about the game itself we could see, but I did want to go ahead and just kind of talk about that. Now, I want to go ahead here before I end the video, which also you guys are subscribed to the channel, because I'm going to keep making content just like this and other videos. You guys could check out some of my past videos that I've done in the past, but for right now, I really wanted to check out some content about actual Pokemon Legends ZA. So this part of the video will be about Legends ZA itself and the announcements that happened on Pokemon Day. Now, I did a whole live reaction to the Pokemon Day stuff, but I just never uploaded it. It fell through. I kind of just didn't get the whole reaction right the way how I wanted it to, and so it kind of fell through. So I might as well just end this video, since we're kind of already going into the new stuff and the stuff that was shown off in Legends ZA. I might as well go ahead here and just talk a little bit about Legends ZA and give you guys, like, kind of my opinions, how I feel about the game, and what to kind of expect, while I already have you here for the other stuff, right? So Legends ZA as a whole, to me, is a extremely promising looking game. There's a bunch of stuff that was just leaked that I'm going to go ahead and also be kind of talking about in this video as well. Mostly the megas, and the fact that there's also going to be no new Pokemon coming back as well. So a little bit of a spoiler warning here as well, because, like, obviously this is going to be my thoughts, but this is also going to be my thoughts on the brand new leak stuff that happened literally like a day or two ago. So spoiler warning, if you guys don't want to see that, you guys can go ahead here and just click off the video. But, moving into it, I am going to be talking about spoilers, so just be aware of that. So first off, there was about, I believe it's 27 confirmed megas. We could be getting about 3 or 4 more from what people have said, and we could also be getting a few less. Some of them may be scrapped because they come from extremely early builds of the game. Now, I'm not going to go into too much of a depth about all of the megas that were announced because there was a lot. I'll probably try to leave a picture on screen if I can find one of all the megas that got announced. I just want to go ahead here and talk a little bit about the ones that I'm particularly excited for. And one of those is Excadrill. I'm extremely excited for Mega Excadrill. I'm also extremely excited for Mega Dragonite. I'm also extremely excited for Megas Skarmory. Skarmory is going to be really, really awesome to finally have a Mega and to kind of be up there. I'm also hyped for Mega Clefable. I think Mega Clefable is going to bring Clefable to hopefully a new height, because Clefable as it is already really good, but let's just hope it's not a situation where the base form is better than the Mega, but it could be. But I think Dragonite's the one that I'm most hyped for, because moving into Generation 10, I think Dragonite is going to need that clutch, counting on the fact that right now the only reason that like Dragonite is super, 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 super good right now is because of, one, the brand new items that were introduced within Gen 9, as well as also Terrestrialization. Sorry, I don't know why that can come to me. Terrestrialization makes Dragonite be really, 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 really good. Like, it actually made him just be like really dominant Pokemon, as well as also, you know, obviously him having some alright abilities. He has some pretty solid abilities as well, since one of his abilities actually got buffed. So it's like overall, like Generation 9 really made it to where Dragonite shined, but outside of Generation 9, I could always see Dragonite being kind of a lower OU to even maybe right underneath OU Mon. But with this Mega coming up, I'm really hoping that they give him the sauce and the stuff that he needs to be maybe even an Uber pick. I think it could be up there with Mega Lucario, maybe even Mega Rayquaza. You never know. You never know. So that's something that I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see what it does for Dragonite and how that's going to change his gameplay. Excadrill is always going to be a great Pokemon. Always going to be probably an OU Pokemon, one of the best Sand Mons that you can get in the game. And so him getting a Mega is just, you know, it's cool. Do I think it's going to be great? It kind of counts. I don't really see him... I don't know. It's going to be weird because you're going to have a Mega that also works kind of in doubles or works kind of off of other Mons, which is kind of I don't really know about a situational Mega. But, I mean, we'll see what the design's like. We'll see how good he is. Maybe he'll have something that's just extremely busted that we just never thought of before. So, you know, that could also happen. And then, you know, finally, I think some of the final ones that got confirmed that I wanted to talk about was obviously the Mega Kalos starters. We kind of already knew that was going to happen, though. Everyone had already originally said Mega Kalos starters are going to happen, so that's going to be cool when it happens. Hoping it brings them back into the Pokemon meta. And then also, I wanted to talk about finally was the actual starters for the game. So Chikorita, Totodile, and Tepig. Apparently, all of those are getting Mega Evolutions as well. Kind of sucks that Typhlosion isn't getting a Mega Evolution. Don't know why they decided to leave him out of getting a Mega Evolution. Normal Typhlosion still needs it, and even Hisuian Typhlosion, while a solid Mon, is not the best Mon ever. I will definitely say that. So that kind of sucks. But, you know, I mean, hey, if they actually do end up getting Megas, Meganium needed it 100%, and Feraligatr needed it 100%. I'm hoping their typings change when they do get a Mega. I still don't know about the whole Fairy Grass thing. Everybody wants Chikorita to become Fairy Grass, and I'm like, there's some problems with that, but I'm not going to go too much into that in this video. But yeah, those were mostly the things about the new Mons. Now, the actual game itself for Legends ZA, I have to say I'm actually really impressed with the gateway, how the game looks. Now, yet again, it's not in the time period that I thought it was. It is actually technically... I don't really want to call it a sequel to X and Y because from what a lot of people have been seeing, or at least from some leaks, people say it's like 10 years after X and Y. Some people say it's like further than that. I don't know about the exact time period of the game, but it's after X and Y. So it's technically is a future game. So that's kind of interesting, I guess. I don't know how that's going to like mesh. I'm really hoping we meet some of the side characters that were showing up in the game. Like we meet Serena, we meet Shauna, we meet, you know... what is his name? Tierno. We also meet Trevor. I believe that's his name is Trevor. I'm hoping we meet a lot of the people that we met in Kalos. I'm hoping that there's more trainers from Kalos that we can meet throughout the game. Maybe we even meet like the old gym leader, like Clement, right? Because, you know, I think from what I remember, I might call it Prison Tower. I don't think that's what it's called. But the main tower of Lumiose City... actually, I believe it isn't a gym anymore. I believe it's like a shop now, so that's kind of interesting. So I'm wondering if we're going to see any past gym leaders or things like that, or hints towards that in the game as well. Now, I did watch the whole Moist Critical video, because Moist Critical kind of made a thing where he made a video about Legends EA, and he was like, this is kind of worse in the direction that the game is moving, because it's like now instead of having like unique landscapes and things like that for Pokemon, it's now just here's a city with a bird and stuff like that. I don't particularly have that notion, as we already know that the entire game takes place in Lumiose City. I am worried about the game being a smaller game. I'm thinking this game might actually be even smaller than Pokemon Legends Arceus in terms of content. So that's kind of what I'm worried about. I'm hoping they don't just overfill the game with like a bunch of side stuff that realistically isn't going to impact the game that much, and they just keep it like small, like barely anything going on there. But I mean, we'll see. Some people have said they're going to be an underground system, so there may be an underground system very similar to BDSP or something like that, where it's like maybe you could go underground and not only dig up fossils and items and stuff, but you can also like catch some Pokemon down there and stuff like that. So I think all those systems could be interesting, but like, yet again, we just had to see more of the game. We haven't seen enough gameplay of the game itself to really be able to dictate that yet, but I'm going off of the fact that Legends Arceus was just such a good game that I can't see them messing this up, and I think this is the direction that they want to kind of lean towards while moving into Generation 10, because I think Generation 10 is going to be the real big split decision / difference in what's going to make modern Pokemon versus what's going to make the previous generations of Pokemon. And I think the Pokemon Company, as well as Game Freak, know that moving forward when it comes to the Pokemon video games, that they're kind of going in a new sprouting direction, trying to grow the audience in different places, even past what we have right now. So we're going to see with that. But overall, I will say I am excited for Legends ZA. There's a lot of stuff that I'm looking forward to in the game. I'm also looking to see how the battle system is in the game. I'm really hoping it's not. My only problem with it is that it does look a little bit clunky, but other than that, it should be fine. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you'll really enjoy this video, and hopefully I get to see you guys on my next one. Peace!